Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with a truth that might seem simple, yet it carries enormous weight. The greatest project you will ever work on is you. Not your business, not your job, not even your relationships. The greatest project is the person staring back at you in the mirror each morning. Now, I know what some people might say. Isn't focusing on yourself selfish? Shouldn't we care more about others? Of course we should care. Of course we should give. But here's the reality. If you don't fill your own cup first, you'll have nothing to pour into anyone else's. If your energy is drained, if your mind is cluttered, if your habits are weak, how can you possibly serve your family, your career, your community at the level they deserve? That's why focusing on yourself is not selfish. It's responsible. It's the discipline of saying, before I try to fix the world, I must work on my own world. Before I try to change anyone else, I must first transform myself. Think about it this way: a tree can only provide shade, fruit, and shelter if its roots are strong and its trunk is healthy. If the tree is weak, if it's starving for nutrients, it cannot fulfill its purpose. You are that tree. Your health, your mindset, your daily disciplines, these are your roots. When they're strong, you have more to give, more to share, more to offer. So today, I want to take you on a journey into the power of focusing on yourself. Because when you get this right, everything else begins to fall into place. Your career rises, your confidence grows, your relationships improve, and most importantly, you become the kind of person capable of living a meaningful life. The mirror principle. Let's start with something I call the mirror principle. The mirror never lies. When you look into it, you see the reflection of your habits, your choices, your disciplines. You see the result of yesterday's effort or yesterday's neglect. But here's the beauty: the mirror also shows possibility. You're not stuck with the reflection you see today. With focus, with growth, with discipline, that reflection can change. Slowly, consistently, dramatically. Most people spend too much time looking out the window, blaming circumstances, pointing fingers, criticizing others. But the most powerful individuals spend more time looking into the mirror. They ask themselves, what can I do to be better? What must I change about me? Where can I grow today? The mirror principle says, don't spend your life trying to manage the world out there. Spend your life managing the world in here. When you get the inside right, the outside starts to cooperate. The law of responsibility. Here's another truth. Everything in your life will improve when you take full responsibility for it. That's the moment you stop waiting for the government, the company, your parents, or luck to decide your destiny. That's the moment you say, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Responsibility doesn't mean blame. It means ownership. If your finances are a mess, don't blame the economy. Learn the skills of money management. If your relationships are strained, don't blame your partner. Work on your communication, your patience, your empathy. If your health is poor, don't blame genetics. Focus on the choices you make every day with food, exercise, and rest. When you focus on yourself, you accept responsibility. And responsibility is powerful because it gives you control. Blame takes your power away. Responsibility hands it back to you. The garden of the mind now. Picture your mind as a garden. Every day, seeds are being planted. Some are seeds of inspiration, positivity, and growth. Others are seeds of fear, doubt, and worry. The question is, are you the gardener, or are you letting weeds take over? Most people leave their mental garden unattended. They allow television, gossip, and negativity to plant weeds. Then they wonder why their lives feel messy. But a focused individual takes charge. They plant seeds of learning, reading, listening to wisdom, reflecting, setting goals. They pull out the weeds before they grow deep roots. Here's the rule: whatever you plant grows. If you plant discipline, you harvest success. If you plant procrastination, you harvest regret. If you plant focus, you harvest progress. If you plant distraction, you harvest mediocrity. The power of focusing on yourself is realizing that you are the gardener. Nobody else is going to tend to your mind. That's your responsibility. Becoming your best investment. Think for a moment about investments. People spend hours researching which stocks to buy, which business to start, which real estate to purchase. But the greatest investment of all time is not in the stock market or in property, it's in personal growth. Why? Because markets can crash, companies can close, properties can lose value, but the skills you develop, the mindset you build, the wisdom you gain, no one can ever take that away from you. Focus on becoming more valuable. If you want more success, don't wish for fewer problems. Wish to become a person of greater skill, greater insight, greater resilience. Because success doesn't come from chasing opportunities. It comes from becoming the kind of person who attracts them. Closing thought for part 1. So, let's set the stage. The power of focusing on yourself is about shifting your perspective. It's about realizing that the world doesn't get better by chance. It gets better when you get better. Your career gets better when you get better at your craft. Your relationships improve when you become a better communicator. Your opportunities grow when you grow. It all begins with you. And once you understand that truth deeply, you stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop wishing. Instead, you start planting, building, and growing. That's the foundation. That's the starting point. And in the next part of this journey, we'll dive deeper into how to actually practice this daily, how to train your focus, and how to build the habits that transform your life from the inside out. Because the world will always reflect who you are becoming. And the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to others is to become the best version of you.